and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops.
And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, we are officially a couple of hours removed from the playoff selection, top 25. The Aggies came in at number 5 still. And in my opinion, when we finish out the season, we'll still be at number 5. Depending on what Florida and Alabama does in the SEC title game. But even so, that still doesn't change anything to where we'll be ranked at the end of the season. Okay? We will still be ranked number 5, people. Still be ranked number 5. I have no problem with it. I'm not vouching for the number 4 spot. I keep on telling you guys this. Now, I would love to be number 4. You know, hey, I would love for this Texas A&M football team to be number 4. But if we're not number 4, then me personally, I don't really care. What I care about is this team just winning. Just continue to gain momentum throughout the season. Why? Because we hadn't had one of these type of seasons in 7 years. 7 years, people. Yes, we hadn't had one of these type of seasons in 7 years. So, me personally, and as well as a lot of other Aggie fans, we're just happy to get here. Because we know under Jimbo Fisher, this team will continue to have a legitimate amount of success. Yes, people. That's what I'm in. That's what others are getting at. We're just happy to be successful right now. Now, when we start putting these type of seasons together back to back, then we can start going rants about, hey man, it's time for us to move up a little bit further. Yes, that's what we want. We want to be the fans of a team that's, although they're garnering 1 loss or 2 loss seasons, we're still mad that happened. But at the end of the day, we're happy because of the outcome, because we're just not a losing football team, you know? So, anywho, guys, I know I went on like a little rant there, but you guys needed to hear that. You guys needed to hear it. And as well as a lot of other people needed to hear it, you know? So, welcome to the Homemade Podcast of Sports, people, with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is December 9th, 2020. It is a beautiful day in the great city of Houston, Texas, people. Yes. We are a couple of hours removed from that top 25 playoff selection. It's looking pretty good. And if you guys seen right after they done like the selection, they had the updated bowl selections. Update. Not saying that those are going to be the bowls per se, but they were updating New Year's 6 bowls type of deals. We were in there, that Texas A&M football team was in there to play Miami. Me personally, I would love to see that matchup. Orange Bowl, hey man, where you at? Will I go? I don't know. But maybe. I'm not gonna lie to you. It may be in the works. I would love to go down there to Miami to that Orange Bowl. Another thing was that it was some breaking news that came out about Ohio State and, you know, the cancellation with Michigan and things like that. But I saw some breaking news just a while ago that said the Big Ten has changed up the rules for Ohio State. Also, I saw some breaking news about the Michigan athletic director came out supporting Ohio State. Hey, man, Ohio State shouldn't be penalized. Good God Almighty. What is going on in the Big Ten? What is going on to where everybody now, I saw a lot of people over a lot of years that has said this here in particular, and you guys have heard this, and anybody from other conferences that's watching this podcast right now, first of all, I thank you guys tuning in. But this is you guys' excuse for other teams in the SEC. Oh, y'all are riding Alabama's coattail. Well, now it looks like you guys are riding Ohio State's coattail. Are you serious? This is what I've never ever seen this before, where the entire conference, and I ain't just talking about one athletic director, Wisconsin athletic director came out and said something, and probably others, but they haven't put it out nationally. Those guys are supporting Ohio State to be in the college football playoffs. Now, I don't know if this is because of checks and things like that, but from what it's looking like, it looks like Ohio State is writing checks for everybody in the conference, per se. Hey, man, I ain't got nothing against Ohio State. Ohio State, as of right now, and I want every other team and I want every fan of a team in a Big Ten to hear this here. Ohio State is the Big Ten. If you guys are going to let them do that, where they come out and actually run that thing, I'm going to tell you right now, Ohio State is the Big Ten, period. The Big Ten is Ohio State. That's it. That's why you guys see a lot of kids committing to Ohio State instead of Michigan, which Michigan is in the conference too. And I don't understand that. I've never in my lifetime ever seen anything from a Michigan athletic director or alum, period, that had something to say about supporting Ohio State. But this is the first time for everything. Michigan, I'm talking to y'all, Michigan. You guys are supposed to be the second best team over there. Third best team over there, and they just hit 900 wins. But once again, like I said, I haven't heard anything from their athletic director, Penn State. And they're another sleeping giant. That's why when I made that video, I said I wasn't going to get into all that because there's a couple of teams, sleeping giants. That ain't the point right now. Penn State is another one. You guys are another best team, man. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. So anyways, the Big Ten has now changed up the rules for Ohio State to get into the Big Ten title game. Wow. So I'm going to tell you like this. Is it unfair to the Pac-12? Because they're going to potentially play the same amount of games that the Big Ten has played. In my mind and in my opinion, that is totally unfair to those guys, because now you're looking at a champ from the Pac-12 over there trying to at least sniff a playoff spot, and it ain't no way in hell that they're going to get in there. Ain't no way in hell, man. I don't know. I don't understand it. It is what it is. Like I say, Ohio State, hey. And this is coming from an A&M fan. And first of all, shout out to the Ohio State fan. Man, I've been a big critic to you guys for a long time, because I've just always felt like you guys' team, of course, wasn't made up of necessarily guys from up north. And I'm talking about recruiting wise. Necessarily not made up from guys up north. It was necessarily made up of guys from down south. Like, if you guys have ever, that's why I say I love recruiting. I always track recruiting. If you guys have ever looked at that Ohio State roster and looked at their recruiting, they recruit kids out of the South like crazy. Now, most of those guys from the South who they go after, those guys commit there. Hell, they already got the number one recruit in 2022 that's committed there from Texas alone. And then after that, it was another guy that was a wide receiver that's a top 25 from Texas as well, that committed there too. So you cannot get mad at him. I can't get mad at him, man. I can't. But anywho, Ohio State to me isn't nothing but a down south team that's up there in the north. Michigan, if you're listening, Penn State, if you're listening, you guys better jump on board and do what they're doing. All right? Because Ohio State has officially left the pack. They've been left the pack a long goddamn time ago. My thing is that out of all of those wins, where are all the national titles at? Where are all of the national titles? That is why I'm so critical about you guys, man. Ohio State fans, if you guys are listening, that's why I'm so critical about you guys. Where are the national titles? You guys are supposed to outdone Michigan a long time ago with that stature. But you guys only have 8 national titles to Michigan's 11. That's why when I hear you guys talk about Michigan like that, and also Michigan is still the big dog of those wins over you guys. So that's why when you guys talk about them like that, I get that reaction of like, man, come on, Ohio State. Really? Like, I understand you guys on the streak of whooping their asses for a decade, but at the end of the day, man, they have more national titles than you guys. In my honest opinion, you guys are supposed to have probably about 12 or 13 national titles right now. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. And I understand that year when Urban Meyer's his first year that he took that team undefeated, but they were kept out of the national title because of all of the sanctions that got put on them and stuff like that. But even after that, man, those Urban Meyer teams, wow, they got to the playoffs, but it just got smoked. They got smoked. That's why when you guys get there, it's a lot of fans that be critical. And there's a lot of people that be critical because they feel like when you guys get to the big stage, you guys don't show up. You guys don't show up. But at least you guys get there. So I understand. That same can be said for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma has more national titles. They have more. Now, nobody understands what the hell Texas be talking about because Texas has all those wins, but they only have 4 national titles. 4. That is it. Still a blue blood. Notre Dame, they have more national titles. They got 11. They have 11 or 12 as well. Probably on their way to another one, depending on how it looks. So, but anywho, man, but shout out to you guys. I would not take away anything about what you guys are doing, but do I understand the decision that the Big Ten has made for you guys to get into that Big Ten title game? No, I honestly don't. And it's a lot of you guys are going to be mad at me for saying that and feeling that way. But, man, you guys know them, right? But at the end of the day, man, hey, it is what it is. You guys are the best team over there. It ain't no comparison. Now, did Indiana give you a run for your money? Yes. But at the end of the day, man, you guys are the best team over there. Best of luck to you guys in that Big Ten title game, and best of luck to you guys in the college football playoffs if you guys lie there. All right. Also, I did see where Ohio State fan came on to the podcast and commented on one of the videos, and he actually had said, man, I'm happy to see Texas A&M on the rise. So this is why I say this for my A&M fans, my Aggie fans that's on this podcast listening right now. It's a lot of blue bloods that has been waiting for Texas A&M to step up to the damn plate already. It is a lot of blue bloods that has been waiting on this, man. I'm not going to lie to you. And now, was that comment fake? No, it wasn't, because I've heard this from a lot of other teams, man. Guys have been sitting at the table for years, and they've just been sitting there with their arms folded, and it's been that blank chair that has read Texas A&M football on it. But nobody has sat there. Nobody has sat there for over 20 freaking years. They're waiting. They're still waiting. We're getting there, though. We are getting there. That's why I want you guys to be excited. That's why this is different. That's why I said we're a sleeping giant. These are the things, man. Other people feel this way. It's time to get the hell up. We're almost there, people. Understand what I'm telling you and understand what I'm saying. We're on the rise and we're on the way. We're on the way, man. Those blue bloods are waiting. We aren't a blue blood. Shit. We're trying to get there, though. Clemson in the blue blood, but Clemson is on their way. They're on their way. Hell, they already have 3 national titles. Once they get that 4th one, you can damn near put them in a conversation. LSU has 4. They have 4. You can put them in a conversation. They have over 800 wins. Clemson only has over like 700 something wins. All right, they're in like the same category as us. That's why they kind of compare us and Clemson all the time like that, and that's why I do the comparison like that. But anywho, guys, I want to say that. Also, this coming from Jimbo Fisher himself and the athletic director. Guys, A&M will not play Ohio State on this weekend nor any other weekend unless we're playing for a playoff spot that the committee has came up with out of nowhere type of deal. Also, I've heard the comment about Coastal Carolina. I'm just going through them about Coastal Carolina. No, guys, we won't be playing no damn Coastal Carolina. That would not happen. We will not be playing Cincinnati. That will not happen. We will not be playing any team this weekend. All right? That just will not happen. That BYU in the Coastal Carolina game that just happened all of a sudden, hey, man, those aren't Power 5 teams. You know, so, hey, those guys can do that. They're on another level in which we're on another level. We're a Power 5 program. So it's different on our aspect of things, man. You talking about money got to be right, the travel expenses got to be right, things of that nature. Although we have the money for all of that, it ain't like we don't have the money. But man, we're not. No, guys, we're not gonna do that. We're not because it's like for what? For what reason? Hell, we already played the SEC schedule just like Ohio State has played a Big Ten schedule. These are Power 5 conferences. What the hell we need to go out and look for a team for? It's no reason to do it. So it is what it is. We're going to shut down the questions about that. That's totally out of there. All right. This episode will be about recruiting, though. All right. So I'm gonna give you another rundown on our prospects and a couple of recruiters, man. Because I feel like you guys need to know the names of these guys who goes out and do the hard work, goes out and looks at these guys and things of that nature. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here that I've been getting lately. And my apologies, man. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's been slipping my mind. But I need to start answering a couple of questions that you guys be having in the comments. So let me look at them. Thing about Elijah Blades. I'm happy that he's came back. I don't feel any type of way of that he doesn't need to do this, doesn't need to do that, and it's not fair, things of that nature. That guy just wants to play. Hell, I want him to play. He could be a potential shutdown corner. Like, that was the cornerback unit that I was talking about for the 2020 season. I wanted that cornerback unit out there. Jalen Jones was still going to be a starter at the end of the day, but I wanted Jalen Jones to learn. You know, I wanted him to learn and not hold that potential number 1, number 2 receiver yet. But he's been out there and he has done his thing. In my mind, I think that Elijah Blades needs to come back, put him at starter, still keep Jalen Jones at starter, but have Jalen Jones lock down that backfield with Leon O'Neal. That is my God-honest opinion. Have Brian George or Jalen Jones on that slot wide receiver. But at the same time, man, you guys keep on forgetting that we have other guys. We got cannot think of his name, man, but he's another DB back there that we have. That Eric Young. Hell, we still got Eric Young. He was one of our biggest targets in that 2020 class. No, the 2019 class. He was one of our biggest targets, man. A high 4-star commit. High. He's been in there a couple of times, and he's been in the rotation a lot. I guarantee you, once he gets his time, Eric Young will shine. Mark my words on that, okay? I know about these guys, man. I told you I follow these guys. I love recruiting. I love it. This is one of my favorite times of the year ever since they've put this in play now, early signing day. I get up in the morning, set my alarm, just so I can catch it from start to finish. That's how much I love it. All right? Anywho, let's talk about this. One question from Jaden Camillman. Can Osmond come back if we make the playoffs? Hell yeah. You're damn right he can come back. Hell, he can come back even if we don't get to the playoffs. Jamon Osmond, if you're listening, come on back, buddy. Hey, man, us Aggie fans been wanting you to come back. Come on back. Let me look at some other things. All right, so that was mainly it. I know it's a lot of questions on other videos, but that was mainly it. All right, that was mainly it, man. Once again, I thank you guys tuning in and commenting like that. If you guys can start doing so now, start leaving reviews. Start leaving 5 stars, 3 stars, 1 star if you don't like it. Things of that nature. That's fine with me. But yeah, man, start leaving comments and reviews. Okay. Anywho, guys, let's get into this 2021 recruiting. All right. We still got a lot to talk about. Before I get to that recruiting, though, I told you guys yesterday about the LSU. Breaking news, SEC country, about LSU people. I told you guys about the 5-star tight end Gilbert. Told you guys that he was considering transferring and considering the opt-out. Now, what I didn't say was that he either transferred or opted out. Now, what I'm going to say is that Eric Gilbert has officially opted out of the 2020 season. That's that. LSU fans, if you guys are listening, because you guys be on here as well. Once again, Eric Gilbert has opted out of the 2020 season. Don't know how that game is going to look on Saturday, but I'll be watching when you guys play Florida. I can tell you right now, I got Kyle Trask throwing for probably 4 more touchdowns and with about 300 yards. There ain't no need to get a running game going. For what? LSU ain't going to do anything. That's how I feel about it. Once again, have no clue of when the hell Bo Pelini even came from. He just pulled that guy from out of Youngstown State. And for whatever reason, I feel like Bo Pelini still feels like he's at Youngstown State. So he's going to run the same thing he ran over there. I don't know. I tried to go through my iPad and scroll and see what the hell Ed was still looking at when he said Bo Pelini was better than David Aranda. For whatever reason, I cannot see it. It's nobody from that LSU defense that's going in the first round or second round this year. Only person that will go, and he'll probably go second round, is Derek Stingley. Why? Because he's still sort of young. He needs to come back 1 more year, regroup. And I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised he haven't opted out. Mark my words. After next game, though, you'll probably see Derek Stingley opting out. Now, what I didn't say was that he opted out. That's what I didn't say. But mark my words, he probably will. Anyways, let's keep going, people. All right. So I want to let you know about these guys. So the remaining targets for each A&M assistant. I'm not going to talk about the targets. I'm going to talk about the name of the assistants that they're referring to. You guys need to hear about these guys, man. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you Aggie fans know about these guys. Elijah Robinson. All right. He's one of the assistant, and he recruits his ass off. Elijah Robinson has done it, man. He's been a huge part of this Texas A&M building football program of momentum, okay? So he's the defensive line coach. He recruits his ass off. You want to know why that defensive line is so good? It's because of Elijah Robinson and how the way he recruits. Let me keep going. Terry Price. You guys have heard that name all the time. Y'all have heard that before. He's also along the defensive line. Okay? He's another one. Terry Price is one of the biggest recruiters for A&M. Every time I go through there and scroll and look at a commit, it's Terry Price in there. Terry Price. All right? I always see his name pop up. Keep watching. This guy here. This is a huge name that I'm about to name because I know a lot of you guys didn't even much know he was the coach of this line. Josh Henson, offensive line coach. We got so much smack about how the way that offensive line was doing last year. But now, this year, they get a lot of praise. They might still be underrated, in my opinion, because everybody still looks at Alabama's offensive line. But this guy, Josh Henson, is building one of the more dynamic offensive lines in A&M football history. Dominion Craig. A lot of you guys need to hear about him. Dominion Craig. All right. He is, let me see. He should be the wide receivers coach. You want to know why we're so stacked at wide receivers with a lot of those guys? But a lot of you guys are anticipating which wide receiver will break out. Just give those guys a little bit of time. This is why our wide receiver room is so freaking packed right now. And I told you guys that on a couple of podcasts back. This is why. Because of this guy, Dominion Craig. A lot of you guys did not know him. Hell, I didn't even know him. All right? I'm going to be totally honest with you. I didn't even know him. I know him now, though. This is the guy that's going out and signing guys like Damon Demons. Signing guys like Shadrick Banks from North Shore, in which we've finally broken that North Shore curse. Signing guys like Keith Brown. Okay? So, I want you guys to know that this is the guy that's filling that wide receiver room. Look here. The wide receivers are going to break out in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Another guy, Tommy Robinson. This is the running backs coach, Tommy Robinson. He's the one that brought in guys like Amari Daniels. And also, he's going to bring in this guy here, and you guys have heard his name or not, L.J. Johnson, for the 2021 class. Running back. South Fair. He's just wait, man. Just hold up. Just hold up. Another guy, and it's going to be the last one, Ishmael Aristide. He's the one that's developing those safeties back there. All right. So you guys have to remember, he's brought in a 5-star safety who was Jalen Jones. He was the one that brought him in. We hadn't had a 5-star safety commit here in hell, I don't know. I can't even much remember the last time a 5-star safety committed here. But then he brought in another 4-star safety right behind him, which is Kendall Daniels. And he was the number 1 player in Oklahoma over there. Stole him from the Sooners. Stole him. I mean, just literally walked in, got him from out of Oklahoma, brought him on back to Texas. That's it. So, anywho, guys, let's keep on going here. Now we're going to get into a couple of these guys that's on our target boards, okay? So as of right now, I told you guys, we're still the number 15 recruiting class right now. Just be patient. We're about to work our way up to the top 10. Come early signing period, we're going to be in the top 10. All right? I'm going to give you guys a list of the prospects that haven't signed and that we're going after. Now, this class alone, this 2021 recruiting class, it should be headlined by this guy here, Shamar Turner. And once again, I told you guys they turned him into a 5-star strong defensive end. He's now a 5-star. So if you guys can remember, I believe Myles Garrett, he was a 5-star defensive end. The other guy that's out there right now, which is DeMarvin Leal, he's a 5-star. Shamar Turner, he's about to be another 5-star. So you guys got to understand, man. I told you, man, it's all about building your roster first, and then you go out there and compete. Hell, if you ain't got no roster, how you gonna go compete? How can you compete without a roster? Huh? Tell me that. How can you compete without depth? All right. So, anywho, this is who the 2021 recruiting class should be headlined by. Shamar Turner, DeSoto, Texas, strong defensive end, 5-star, nationally 31. Second guy who it should be headlined by, and it's another strong defensive end again. I know both of these guys will commit, both. Tumis Adelaide, I think that's how you pronounce it. Katy, Texas. 4-star, nationally 37. Position 6. Another guy, and I hope we get this run. I can tell you right now, if we get this running back along with Amar Daniels and Keith Brown, and he's coming in there with Devin A. Devon A. Chain, Isaiah Spiller. You guys, look here. I'm gonna give you this guy here, and y'all don't even much know him. I think his name is Fred Jackson. I don't know if I'm saying the name correctly, or Freddie Jackson. It's one of you guys don't even much know about him. Man, we got so many running backs in the stable. Hell, where it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of these guys that's gonna have to get red shirted, of course, and that's fine. And it's a lot of those guys after they get red shirted and come back the next following season, they still won't start. But after that, man, they're gonna stay in line like how they're staying at Alabama. Wait your turn. Look here, listen to this. In order to compete with Alabama, you got to recruit like Alabama. I'm gonna say that once again. In order to compete with Alabama, you have to recruit like Alabama. In order to compete with Clemson, you got to recruit like Clemson. In order to compete with Ohio State, you got to recruit like Ohio State. In order to compete with Georgia now, because Georgia's now in the mix, you got to recruit like Georgia. Now, Florida have something different to say about that, of course, because they beat them. But you got to recruit like Georgia. Yes, in order to compete with Oklahoma, you got to recruit like Oklahoma. Okay? That's why a lot of guys don't understand what's going on with Texas over there. Because they've out-recruited Oklahoma in like the last 3 years, I think. They just can't figure out what's going on with their on-field success. We have nothing to do with that. Anywho, let's keep going. L.J. Johnson, once again, Cypress, Texas, running back, nationally 40. Nationally ranked 40, position 3rd. All right. It's no doubt in my mind that he was signed with A&M people. We have been back and forth with Texas, but it's no doubt in my mind that guy was signed with Texas A&M. You've heard it here first. All right, let's keep going. 2-1 Malone, defensive tackle. Ordell, New Jersey. Understand this. We're reaching in New Jersey just like how Alabama reached in New Jersey and got the safety that had converted into cornerback and got drafted in it. Fitzpatrick that got drafted in the first round. That guy was one of the more dynamic backfield threats on defense in probably like the last 10 years. Not just for Alabama, but in the college football world, period, in like the last 10 years. That guy, Fitzpatrick, was one of my favorite defensive backs. Although he wasn't playing for Texas A&M, but man, that guy was one of my favorite defensive backs to watch. That's just me. Anywho, but we're starting to reach in New Jersey and claim that too now. We already got Fidel Diggs. Told you. I know these kids. I know a bunch of them. All right, let's keep going here. Tawan Malone, Ordell, New Jersey, defensive tackle, nationally 61, 4-star rated, position field. Bryce Foster in a battle with OU. Hopefully he signs with us. I'm not skeptical. He has a long length of family history with I believe Texas A&M. So I'm hoping he signs. If he signs, look out. Bryce Foster, Katy, Texas, offensive guard, nationally 72, 4-star, position 4th. Brian Thomas, Walker, Louisiana, wide receiver, nationally 4-star. 4-star, nationally 79, position 13. Elijah Judy. This is the guy I really want. Another defensive end. Look, I hear you guys talk about the wrecking crew. Well, the wrecking crew is, give it some time. We're going to be back. All right. Elijah Judy. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's the guy that decommitted from Georgia and had A&M on his mind. Why? Because it's already another guy from Pennsylvania that has committed to A&M already. All right. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weak defensive end. 4-star nationally, 200, position 13. No doubt about it in my mind, he was signed on early signing day at Texas A&M University. You heard it here first, once again. J.J. Henry, McKinney, Texas, wide receiver. 3-star, nationally 454, position 70. Talik Robbins. This was a guy where that crystal ball just put us in to actually land him on early signing day. Talik Robbins, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This was the guy that I was talking about. Him and Elijah Judy has that connection with each other. Defensive tackle. That's the defensive line again. Again, the defensive line, man. Whew. 3-star, nationally, 847, position 51. This is another guy that you guys need to hear of, and he's considering us. Look, I say, man, we're one of the most dynamic, balanced team in all of college football, and it's going to stay that way for a long time. Byron Cartwell, San Diego, California. It's time for us to start getting kids from over there. Running back. I told you, look here, man. Our running back stable is starting to look like the wide receiver stable. They just hadn't broke out yet. Listen to me. Byron Cardwell, San Diego, California, running back, 4-star, nationally 183, position 8, 4-star. You want to compete with Alabama? You better recruit like him. Jordan Gilbert, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, safety, 4-star, nationally 284, position 19. Amonte Watkins, and this the guy that's under the radar. I'm gonna tell you again, and y'all gonna trip out because y'all look here. If you haven't subscribed, you better subscribe now. Also, like this video. Amonte Watkins under the radar right now. Houston, Texas, all-purpose back. Another back. 4-star, nationally 286, position 4. Hey man, I told you, we're not playing, people. We're not bullshitting. No, man, we're trying to win some games here. And then go to the SEC champ, and then go in the playoffs, and then win a national title. Man, we're not playing. We're trying to gain stability here. The problem with Texas A&M for a long time was that it was a lot of 4- and 5-star kids that did not want to commit to Texas A&M. They are now. Get ready. Alabama, look here, man. I want you guys to understand this too. Alabama has been waiting for somebody to step up to the plate and give them competition year in and year out. We hadn't been so good against them. Blew out against them this year. Next year, it'll be different. You heard it here first. Once again, it'll be different next year. And the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, it'll be different. Those games will now start being competitive. We just hadn't recruited up to their level for years. We're getting there. Now we're getting there. Alabama, if you're listening, I know you guys have been waiting. Hell, we've been waiting too. We're almost there. Hold on. Just give us a little minute. It took a little time, but we're getting there. Devon Manuel Arnaudville, Louisiana, offensive tackle, 3-star, nationally, not available. That's okay. I'm sorry. That's the wrong guy. Remington Strickland, Sugar Land, Texas, offensive center, 3-star, nationally, 552, position 8. And this guy here may be one of the most dynamic 3-stars on here. And it's looking like he's going to commit to us on early signing day, if I'm not mistaken. So, you guys, just stay on the lookout for that. And this is one last one. Jarrell Boykins, Gonzales, Louisiana, defensive tackle, again. 3-star, nationally, not available, position 81. I want you guys to go and look up all of these recruits on 247 2021 recruiting, okay? Look at a couple of videos. I do this all the time. Trust me, when we get to the off season, I'm going to start looking at some videos. All right, trust me on that. That is how I'm able to come up with some of the things that I tell you guys and stuff like that. Anywho, I thank you guys tuning in. That is it. We have ran pretty long here, and we're going to get out of here because I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. All right. So I thank you guys once again, guys, and please hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. We are now at about 400 plus subscribers. I think I just came on here yesterday and told you we were over 350. Shortly after that, it feels like I wasn't even gone for a day, came back on, and I'm now at about 405 subscribers. I thank you guys. Please continue to tell a friend. Let's make this thing go viral, and let's make this thing go floating. It's time for guys to hear about Texas A&M football. Texas Radio, if you're listening, shout out to you guys. I understand everything you guys put out there, man. Shout out to Billy Lucci, if that guy's listening, or if anybody knows him. Please tell him to watch this video. I'm giving him a shout out, okay? I love you guys once again. It's the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. This show is being sponsored by Dope and Style and King's Beard Grooming Company. Love you guys. Hashtag Gigamaggies.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. Hashtag Gigamaggies.